They lost to Canada and Argentina in back-to-back games to start out. 71-62 win over the Dominican Republic set them up for a Puerto Rico game where they lost by a narrow margin. And then yesterday they took down Mexico to reach the classification 5-6 game as Colombia wins the opening tip. As stated, I'm Andrew Willett on the call. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As a jumper falls for Colombia. And that gets the scoring started early. With Maria Perez getting going. Perez yesterday had a good game with 12 points. Only 5 for 15 from the field. As Borges responds in some early scoring. As mentioned, hop into the YouTube channel, interact, as Tony Thatch says, I hope this game is not like the first one. South America supremacy at stake here for 5th place between Brazil and Colombia. As Colombia, no inside, second time. Also off the mark, will stay with Colombia, according to the officials. Juan Felipe says, Vamos Colombia. Antonio, cheering for several teams. Freddy says, Vamos Colombia. Danilo says, Vamos Colombia. Carlos says, let's go Colombia for the victory. Maria cheering for Brazil. Luz says, Vamos, mi Colombia, arriba. And Carlos says, Vamos Colombia por la victoria. As Brazil can't get it to go, but Colombia can't save it. Brazil with the basketball. This will be my final game broadcasting the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. It has been a pleasure and an honor to broadcast on the FIBA level. Masterea. Brazil wearing the yellow uniforms. Excuse me, Colombia wearing the yellow, Brazil wearing the green. Apologies for the confusion there. As Brazil turns it over. Each team scored in the first 30 seconds. Now, a little bit of a rut. No scoring in the last minute and a half. As Colombia has the basketball. And 10 seconds on the shot clock. Vega. And some offense as Brazil. Brazil has proven to be a pretty good defense in their evenly matched games. Taking down Mexico yesterday, who did become the 7th place team. As Cavalcanti misses on a triple. Out of bounds. Colombia's way. Cavalcanti has been one of the better players in this tournament. 10.6 points per game. Second on her team in scoring behind Esther Ubata. Ubata is tied for 5th in scoring. And Cavalcanti 17th in a tie with Aaliyah Crump from the USA. Scoring has definitely slowed down as the turnovers start to pile up a little bit. Colombia maintains possession, no turnover that time. As Jose says, Vamos Argentina. Argentina will play up next against Puerto Rico, 5:30 local time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. A shot on the way, no. Maria Acosta did not get it to fall. Chad says, Vamos Colombia, as they take on Brazil. Inside, Borges gets a second chance. And I take back my comment on the turnovers. Just rough shooting luck so far, as only one turnover in this game. Borges had 2 tries, fouled on the second one. 3rd offensive rebound for Brazil. There are also 3 for Colombia. So a lot of shooting slumps, but offensive rebounds, creating more opportunities. Alfonso Ferrero says, let's go Colombian girls. Thank you for tuning in. Zatian says, just hoping for a close game here for the 5-6 game. Fernando says, vamos Brazil. Thank you for tuning in. And Zatian saying, yeah, both teams have great defense. This will be low scoring. Christian tossing out the question. Colombia, Brazil. Go ahead and chime into the chat. Respond to Christian. Let him know who you think's winning this one. As Luis says, they're cheering for Colombia today. Brazil. Borges able to knock down 2 free throws. Up to 4 points. All 4 of Brazil's points. As Martins blocked at the rim. Australia showing off the stride. And finishing in transition. And one. Australia. As Chad says, there's that says I got Brazil in this one. As Colombia ties it up. No good on the first free throw off the and one from Australia. Valentina says, vamos Colombia. Estrubata into the lane, no. Borges doing everything for Brazil. 4 minutes down here in the first quarter. 6-4 and an early advantage. A lot of offensive rebounds so far. Rebounding, of course, going to be important in this one. As Brazil has the far superior advantage so far in this tournament. As well as a size advantage with Martins, Borges, and Ubata down low. See if Colombia can throw out some size to help out. As Ubata touches inside, throws it up and in. With Ubata 8 points. Zatian says Mascarella always carries for Colombia. Joel Martinez says Antonio Miranda. As a 3 on the way, Morantes off the mark. Ubata fighting for the board and a foul called. Esther Ubata, a player who plays with a lot of passion. At 5'11", the power forward for Brazil. And has had quite the tournament. 12.6 points per game, 12 rebounds. And don't stop me, it's 22 points and 18 rebounds last night. An incredible double-double as we hit the halfway mark here in this first quarter. Borges gives it up. Sanchez, the other point guard in this Brazil lineup. Tony saying, all right, Colombia, don't fall apart now. Still early, Tony. Have some hope. As Joel says, I live in Mobile, Alabama. Thank you so much for tuning in. As Joel, I believe. Joel Martinez. Or Joel, excuse me. Either way. 8-4 advantage for Brazil. 3 on the way. That one well short from Veda. Rebound. Brought down by Brazil, and they take it the other way. Sarah Martins for 3. A very welcome sight after Martins started 0 for 2 from inside the arc. Nets her first triple to go with 2 boards already. And a timeout taken. 11-4, the Brazil advantage. As Colombia takes a timeout. Another great time to remind. Go ahead and jump in the chat by going over to YouTube, searching FIBA U16 Americas. Or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023, where you can find a whole bunch of information regarding the tournament, but also the link where you can hop in, go to the chat, like, subscribe to our channel, FIBA, the basketball channel, as well as commenting and getting involved. Interact with us in the chat. We're going to have a great time throughout this broadcast as Brazil has the early lead. Also be sure to go to Facebook and Instagram, follow our account at NextGenHoops, and use the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Follow us there and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get involved here. Over in the chat, AYN12 says over 120. Joel Martinez says I am from Puerto Rico and is cheering for Puerto Rico in the next game as they play for third place against Argentina. Rodrigo cheering for Brazil. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tony Thatch says not a good start from Colombia. And asking if he still has hope, says we will see. So Tony, we hope you're doing all right. Have some hope here for Colombia, as Brazil has lost a couple of leads in the past. Good job from Colombia, able to finish in the lane. Off the bench, Valerine Lopez scoring at the rim, and they did out and do a full court press. Sanchez tried to get it across the court, stolen. Good job, Mastarella getting it in the passing lane. Now thought about a three from the right wing, gives it up. Colombia now. Into the lane and a travel. That would be turnover number 2 for the squad with 3:12 left. Two turnovers, as well for Brazil, who did sit across half court. There was one turnover apiece up until the last 3 possessions. Turnover. As Brazil crosses it out of bounds, 11-6. They lead it. 3:05 to go here in the first. Lewis says, Vamos, Colombia. Chad saying, hey, Zach Young, have you ever heard about a Canada college called Carleton College that beats their opponents badly, but they don't dribble? Instead, they pass and shoot. Tony says, have some hope. It's trying, but not easy. Tony, come on. We're having a good time over here. Colombia hanging around. Still early with the 3, well short that time from Forero. Martins playing a guard forward spot. Takes it up, gets it down. Now fires a deep 3 and cashes it home. Sarah Martins. Good for 3. Makes it a 14-6 lead, Brazil. .2:15 left. Martins up to 6 points, 2 for 2 from downtown. As Borges playing some solid defense underneath. Zachion says, I certainly have, Chad. My university hasn't beaten them in over 20 years. Beat Carleton College. Tony Thatch asking if that's Lillard out there. Sarah Martins, a player with a lot of potential in this tournament. All that height as a forward. Can also take the ball up the court as a guard. Knock down the triple. And only 14 years of age for Sarah Martins. Plays for Indians Tupa in Brazil. 5'10" small forward. And she gets an easy basket the other way. Brazil with a hot start. That time turning defense into offense. Minute and a half remaining here in the first. Zach Young talking about Carleton College still in the chat. Says they're very fun to watch, but as a fan of Canadian college basketball, it's annoying that they're a tier above everyone else. That seems to be the case with most top teams. As Colombia, a rough turnover over the head of a teammate. So I believe that was Luna Vega. Pass off the mark. Excuse me. Carlos saying Colombia urgently needs to control the basketball. Very true. As that was turnover number 3. Nonetheless, some bad ones over the last few minutes as Martins and Borges did not get a shot off. Board comes down to Colombia. As Vega drives tips, Mascarella guarded closely by Ubata. Driving, fits in, Vega with 2 on the shot clock. Mascarella has to fire. No, that was Morantes, excuse me. Misses on the mid-range jumper. 24 seconds, out and running. De Oliveira, no good. And a 10-point game, 15 seconds. Can Colombia find their way a little bit closer before the second quarter? Attaching, stopping, kicking. Morantes thought about a 3, instead steps into the lane. And a foul is called on the way up. Morantes doing a good job, did an inside. Off the pump fake. Might have shuffled a little, but took the contact on the way up. Ubata got her hand in there. And that one whistled as Ubata's first foul. As Tony says, my hope is fading for Colombia as they miss both free throws. And the first quarter comes to a close. Brazil, outstanding to start things off. A 10-point lead heading into the second quarter. Will they hold on to it and capture 5th place? Or does Colombia have something more to offer? Second quarter coming your way soon.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Out of the first quarter break, Brazil up by 10 points. They come right down, feed the post. Ubata blocked, and the turnover. With an over and back violation, Ubata, bad pass out to Anna Kraus into the ball game. Kraus has played now in 4 of 6 games, 4.7 minutes per game starting the second quarter. And out guarding Colombia's Acosta into the lane. Off the switch. Tipped out. 3 no. And De Freitas, good board. Able to get it away to Sanchez, who has it poked. Into the lane. No good. De Freitas can't corral the miss. And outside, 3 on the way. A little bit long. Rebound comes up and comes down. Colombia up and in on the reverse. Mascarella wins the lead down to 8. Brazil struggling to hold on to the basketball. 2 turnovers already here in less than a minute. As wild shot from Ubaka. Another rebound from De Freitas, who was whistled for a travel, even though Mascarella very clearly had her hand on the ball. Probably could have been a jump ball. Nonetheless, a travel and another turnover for Brazil, as Cavalcanti checks right back into the ball game. Out there with Sanchez and Kraus, De Freitas and Ubata. This was a lineup with De Freitas and Ubata down low that got a lot of run. Looked very good. As for Colombia, Maria Acosta driving now. Ferrero, shot no. Up there with Valerín Lopez, Maria Perez, and Marta Mascarella. Into the lane and out. Driving, Anna Kraus drops it into De Freitas. No, but gets her own miss and is fouled. De Freitas, you have to love the energy level. We're in the second game of 4 today, the last day of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas World Cup classification day. We've decided the 7th and 8th seeds. We're deciding the 5th and 6th seeds in this game. Third place game up next, Argentina and Puerto Rico. And to close out the day and the tournament, the U.S. and Canada at 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anna Kraus with the board. Takes it up, nearly loses it. And across half court, Cavalcanti from Ubata. Brazil having some trouble against the ball pressure of Colombia, as Kraus fires and misses everything on that three-pointer. As I was saying, though, thank you so much for tuning in here to the YouTube chat for this 5th place game. I will interact with those of you in the chat. Lisandro says Argentina, champion. Tony Thatch says 6 points is depressing for 1 quarter. Colombia trying to fight back. A low-scoring game is how they come out on top. And don't let them get into a close game, too, because they could pull it out at the very end. As Luis cheering for Brazil. Zach Young hoping Colombia can put on a fight. Still early, guys. Don't lose hope. Tony and Zach, stay with us. As another board pulled down by Ubaka. 18 rebounds last time. Incredible. Edwin Herbert, my apologies for missing that foul call. As Ubaka into the game now and missing. Luis asking what position they're fighting for. They are fighting for 5th place in this one, just outside of the World Cup qualifiers, as well as the semifinals and now finals. Raul says, Vamos Colombia, beat Brazil. Antonio saying, hey. The Dominican Republic flag. Valentina says, Vamos Las Rincon. Coach Stark says, slow first quarter is normal for this age group. It can't all be the USA. Zach Young saying Colombia has great coverage on Ubaka. And Willie chiming in with a wave as Brazil takes the timeout. Colombia, a 4-0 start to this second quarter. 16-10, they still hold the lead, but they want to talk things over with 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the YouTube stream. Head over and jump in the chat by going to YouTube, searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023 You can make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, as well as comment in the chat, where I'll be sure to interact with you, as well as shout you out on the live stream. Or go to Facebook and Instagram, follow us at NextGenHoops, and use the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow there and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FIBA the Basketball Channel. Let's be sure to keep it respectful and kind in the chat. We're all going to have a great time. Zach Young says, Andrew, you're going to be watching the gold medal game later? Zach, no doubt. Looking forward to the U.S. and Canada. So it was a bummer I didn't get to cover the United States in this tournament. Just too good, as I had Group B and they were in Group A. And I had the afternoon games as well, as going all the way to the basket and is fouled. Maleo heading to the free throw line. Zach, what about you? Let me know if you're going to be tuning in to that gold medal game, the first place game. And let me know who you think's going to win between the U.S. and Canada. I know Zach, who he's cheering for, pulling off the upset. He says, yes, sir. Canada pulling it off. I like it. Coach Stark says, I love this interactive bench basketball. Commenting on the bench, getting involved. I like that. As another shot, no, from Brazil. 17-10 advantage. Carlos says, in numbers and defense, Colombia is stronger than Brazil. Let's go Colombia. Still early as they try to fight back from the early deficit. An offensive rebound kept alive. Coach Starks saying, you think so, Zach? And Zach says, I sure hope so, Coach, about Canada beating the United States. Carlos says the U.S. by 30 plus. Tony says, not so fast, Canada, with some bald eagle emojis. Zach Young saying, I'll be shocked if they actually pull it off. But, hey, you can cheer for your team. Champ Win 5 says, USA win. Coach Start says, oh, now I am for sure. Zach knows his stuff, so if he says so, I'm going to have to tune in now. Coach Start, absolutely. Make sure to keep tuning in. We're having some fun. Not only in the chat, but watching some basketball here over the summer. As a three on the way, another one goes. And that's the type of performance that can put your team over. As that is the third triple for Sarah Martins. 3 for 4 from downtown for 11 points and 3 rebounds. What a start for Sarah Martins. 20-10 advantage. It has Zach Young and Coach Stark interacting. Gotta love it in the chat. So far for Colombia, 5 for 30 from the field, 0 for 10 from outside the arc. Really struggling in this one. As they move it down the court. And a jump ball underneath the basket. Zach Young says Sarah is on Dame time. Maybe so. To this point, 3 for 4 from downtown. I just said, Tony Thatch saying she's releasing her inner Dame, or Curry/Dame shooting badge. As Martins struggled with her shot in this tournament, but she has all of the skills needed. Just needs to get a little bit more consistent. 3 for 4 from downtown. In the tournament, has been shooting 22% from 3. 8.8 points per game, already up to 11 midway through the second, approaching the end of the second quarter. As out of bounds off of Brazil, Colombia takes over possession. Turnovers haven't been a huge problem in this one, like they have been throughout the tournament for Brazil. 25.8 per game. They have 10 at this point. So as of late, they've been piling up. First order only had 3 though. For Colombia, they are the best team in terms of taking care of the basketball. 14.6 turnovers per game. Did have a few more above average yesterday with 16 in the win over the Dominican Republic. But it was still a winning battle against the DR, 26-16. As thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And thank you for interacting with us in the chat. Head over to the chat. As we appreciate you watching, but go over to YouTube, search FIBA U16 Americas, or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023 for everything you need to know about the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. As well as the link to hop over here, get in the chat, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and interact with us. Leave a comment in the chat, and we'll have a great time as Colombia turns it over again. You can also interact with us on social media by following us at NextGenHoops on Facebook and Instagram, and using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow us there and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FIBA, the basketball channel. Thank you so much for all of you in the chat. Mario says if Colombia continues shooting three-pointers, they will lose the game like they did with Argentina. That was a very tough loss to Argentina, 55-54, where they had it down the stretch, lost a late lead. Argentina pulled it out. Tony Thatch saying turnovers. Not many today. Kind of surprised, unfortunately. Luis saying Brazil is #1 in South America. Chad Travnik asking Coach Stark, do you coach basketball and where? Tedwin says, I'm enjoying this live stream and the lively interaction. Tedwin, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you for interacting. Thank you for commenting on the chat. Coach Stark says, yes, Chad. Coaching in Los Angeles, California. Thank you for tuning in, Coach Stark and Chad. Rafaela says, let's go Brazil. And congrats on the transmission. I'm enjoying the comments very much, Rafaela. I apologize for my pronunciation of that, but thank you so much for tuning in. We're having a great time in here. Of course, make sure to keep it respectful. As Chad says, oh wow, Coach Stark. Saying that he used to live in Fresno, California from 2014 through 2019. And that he had been to LA, California there. And called it a beautiful city. Luis, doing the right thing in the chat. Thank you for commenting. Coach Stark saying, cool, Jordan Campbell was one of our guys. He just graduated from Florida State. It's very cool. As Colombia tacks on a couple more points. Approaching the end of the first half. Colombia still within striking distance. Low scoring game so far. Jade Sanchez saying, shout me out. Jade, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Luis asking, what's your country? Tony saying, I'm losing hope. Hey, still an 8-point game, Tony. Stay with us over here. As Mason Hamilton says, hey. Thank you for tuning in, Mason. Coach Stark says, I coach AAU, U13, U14, and Morton on a U16 exhibition team. Chad says, Colombia needs some help. But they are playing the best in South America. Playing for the best in South America. Thanks, Chad, for chiming in. And Chad, yes, I am the commentator for the first 2 games of the day. Just wrapped up the Dominican Republic and Mexico, with Mexico winning handily for 7th place. And now Colombia and Brazil is my last game before Craig takes over on the call. Coach Stark mentioning Fresno. Tebwin says, I'm viewing from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Saying, I hope to see these young players go on to the FIBA U17 championship next year. Tebwin, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comment. As yeah, this is a great chance for these players to grow and develop as they keep going to tournaments year after year. Coach Stark. Oh, for Fresno State. I understand, Coach. Apologies for that. Just had a player play for Fresno State and graduate. That's very cool. A 2-guard at Fresno State. Under a minute. Here again in an 8-point game. Brazil trying to bump that lead back to double digits. Coach Stark says Colombia making a little bit of a run. Chad mentioning that he used to live close to Fresno State. Zach Leon says Brazil's defense is just too good. Yeah, they do a great job locking up around the paint, as well as on the perimeter. One-on-one defense. And Tony saying Colombia proved me wrong on why I shouldn't lose hope. With Chad saying, glad you are following your dream. What is required to be a sports coach in California, Coach Starks? Good conversation, good interaction in the chat. As we get a whistle and I believe a timeout coming. After back-to-back baskets from Colombia, they are as close as they have been since early in the first quarter. 22-16, Brazil has really been slowed down here. In a low-scoring game, as Tony points out. But Colombia hanging around. Tony, I think there is plenty of reason to believe in this team. Maria Perez, after her good game yesterday, led the team with 12 points in the victory, averaging 10 points per game in the tournament. 12.2 from Marta Mascareya, 8.8 from Maria Acosta, and 9.6 from Stephanie Veda, who struggled yesterday with the shot. But so far, a very well-rounded, well-balanced group. Marta Mascareya with 6 points, Maria Acosta with 4, and 2 apiece from Maria Perez, Valerie Lopez, and Lisa Ferrero. And Coach Stark says if your player is in the 8th grade, 9th grade and up, you have to have your NCAA certification to coach. Chad mentioning the same as Minnesota. Zach Young saying Colombia can pull off this W as long as they keep it close. And Chad says, wow, vamos Colombia. We're down to a 6-point game. Out of the timeout, Brazil dips it in. Martins, nice left-handed pass ahead. And now with 20 seconds, 2 seconds separate shot and game clock. Brazil will likely take the final shot. Cavalcanti left wide open for 3. Short rims it. Now 4 seconds. As Martins nearly steals it. And at the end of the first half, 22-16. Brazil on top over Colombia here in this 5th place game. As we are in a close one, a low-scoring affair. Looked at the team comparison stat-wise. 25% from the field for Brazil, 22% for Colombia. From three-point range, Colombia has yet to knock one down, while Brazil shooting 27% from 3. And from free throw, 75% for Brazil. Steals, it comes out to Colombia, 6-1. More steals. Brazil has 1 more assist, 6-5. Turnovers, Colombia doing a better job taking care of the ball. Brazil with 12 turnovers to Colombia's 6. 3 blocks for Colombia to 2 for Brazil. Even points in the paint. About even. Fast break points. Points from turnovers goes Colombia's way, as well as second chance points going Brazil's way. And that's probably their difference on those second chance points, as well as some great scoring from Sarah Martins, with 11 points to lead the way for Brazil, and 6 points from Marta Mascarella leading the way for Colombia. We will have the second half of this 5th place game coming up next. Still a lot of basketball to be played in this one and throughout the day, as you're watching the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championships. I'm Andrew Willett. Stay with us. Second half.
will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
One half of basketball remains for Colombia and Brazil, deciding who will be 5th place in all of this through this tournament and who will be in 6th. As Brazil holding a narrow 6-point advantage, 22-16 over Colombia through one half of basketball. And the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship today is the final day of the tournament. Wrapping up 7 good days, 6 days of basketball, 1 day off. With the championship game tonight to determine 1st and 2nd place. The USA and Canada. Right before that, the 3rd place game, Argentina and Puerto Rico. And now to determine 5th, Brazil and Colombia have one half of basketball left to play. I'm Andrew Willett on the call, as Colombia was down by 10 at the end of the first quarter. See if they are able to inch back any closer. You can find me on social media at DACWillett22, Willett W-I-L-L-E-T-T, or at APB Show. As the shot falls from Mascarella. That's a good way to start for Colombia, now within 2 possessions, 4-point game. Great spin move. Martins has it poked away. It will stay with Brazil underneath to start this second half. As always, please be sure to tune into the YouTube stream and jump in the chat where you can interact with us. By going to YouTube, searching FIBA U16 Americas, as well as going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023 for all of your tournament action. 1 minute down. Then get to YouTube, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment. As you can interact with us, I'll give you a shout out on the live stream. You can also interact on social media by following us at NetsGenHoops on Facebook and Instagram and using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Colombia bringing this now within 4. Mascarella again. This time no. On board, shot up and in. Mascarella coming out hot. First 2 baskets of the second half. Both coming from her. She's up to 10. 5 for 10 from the field. With 6 boards. And Colombia, a chance to tie it. Mascarella goes to the right side, cannot hit. Nearly gets a steal, but picks up the foul. A lot of fun discussions in the chat at halftime, but now, as we hop in here, Carlos says if the team does not score from the 3-point area, they must take the ball down and look for a foul or go for 2-pointers. I think that's a great strategy point, Carlos. Thank you for chiming that in, because they have really struggled from 3. 0 for 12 right now. And where they've had success is when they go inside, Mascarella especially, off the drive. Luis cheering for Colombia. Shot on the way, and that's the first triple. Big time 3. Maria Perez, 1 for 4 now from downtown. The first 3 in 13 attempts for Colombia. And a timeout taken as Colombia takes a 1-point lead within 2 minutes, or within 3 minutes of this third quarter. Brazil wanted to talk things out. After just 2 minutes, 15 seconds, a solid 7-0 start. Hopefully we don't get a repeat of the last game, where Mexico came from behind to get out to a 30-plus point lead at one point in the 7th and 8th place game in a win over the Dominican Republic. That one just happened, with Mexico earning 7th place, the Dominican Republic falling to 8th. Now for 5th place, Colombia making their push for the lead, or for the win rather, as they have the lead after a 7-0 run. As the offense has been good from the end of the second quarter through the start of the third. Going to need some adjustments from Brazil. Jermaine Willett chiming in the chat. Do I have a prediction for the championship? And I'm going to turn that right back on its head. Thanks, Mom, for the comment. Appreciate you. As I'm going to ask you in the chat, who do you think wins the U.S. and Canada tonight for it all here at the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship? It's at 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as a three-point response falls for Brazil. Sarah Martins has been killing it from downtown. Her fourth three. Unreal. 67% from downtown, 14 points. Zach Young saying that's tough, Mascareya. Tony says my hope may be restored as Colombia steals it away. Bet the other way. After they tie it up, a foul called on the layup. Mascareya will head to the line. As Zach Young says Colombia back in it. Tony says Brazil, what are you doing? Zach Young. We're playing bad splash. Tony says, oh, they done proved me wrong already. They are right back in this one. Tony, I told you it was still early. And if they keep it close, Colombia certainly has a chance. As Coach Stark says, see, look at this, Colombia. Coach Stark saying this is going to go down to the end. We'll see if Brazil, how they respond to Colombia fighting back. Carlos says Colombia, yes you can. Colombia, yes you can. Tony giving the first place medal here at the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship to the U.S. Same with Jermaine Willett. Your mom. Mom, I really appreciate you for tuning in. Zach Young says I got Canada by 1 at the buzzer. Zach, make sure we're thinking through this one. But I love your confidence for your home country. Another comment saying, honestly, I don't think anyone will win but the USA. Coach Start says the US for sure. Sorry to Zach. As we're having a lot of fun here in this chat. Zach Young says, you're right, Coach, but I still have the faith. Gotta have the faith. As Brazil turns it over, back the other way. Comes Colombia. Abel Ortiz says in women's basketball, the USA rules. Abel, thank you for chiming in. Tony Thatch saying Canada by 1 at the buzzer ain't happening around us. As Colombia certainly has played better defense here in the second half. Nice spin move. Morantes couldn't get it to fall. And back the other way. After a shot clock violation comes Brazil. A huge shout out to Dave Howe for his help in this broadcast. And now Joseph Hayden helping out from Spalt and the rest of our crew. Fantastic job there from Yucatan. As a 3 on the way. De Freitas pulls down the miss. Coach Start says Colombia's defense getting better and better. Laura, vamos Colombia. Tedwin saying the U.S. has the advantage in every category and should win. But he does expect a very competitive game, though. Saying unlike the other teams, the U.S. thrives under pressure. Coach Stark saying, I like Canada. I have been there a few times. A beautiful country. Dr. Thierry says, what's going on here, folks? A close game. Dr. Thierry, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Colombia has fought themselves right back into this one. The defense making some good adjustments against Colombia, or Brazil rather, and the offense getting going. They're shooting a lot less three-pointers and going downhill. just like this drive. Morantes trying the 1-2. And now heading to the free throw line. Coach Start says crystal clear lakes, good fishing. As Zach Young asked him, where in Canada did you visit? Coach Start saying he was stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington. Saying we used to drive up there on weekends and visit places from the border to Vancouver. Back to the game. An offensive rebound for Colombia. As Abel Ortiz says Colombia must not miss easy shots, and they knock down another triple. Mastarella with a big time bucket. But back the other way. 2 more points for Brazil. Ubaka chiming in. Tedwin saying turnovers hurting the teams from maintaining the flow of the game and shot clock violations, meaning the point guards aren't in control. As at the rim, nearly got the and one, but heading to the free throw line. Nice play, I believe Acosta. Not sure, not for certain. Champ says Colombia will win. Abel Ortiz asking for Colombia to run on offense after every rebound. Dr. Thierry saying, wow, thanks for the update. Dr. Thierry, thank you for tuning in, for chiming in the comments. Really, really, really appreciate it. As Coach Start cheering for some offense. And Ubaka. Ubaka very good down low. As the lead back up to 4, double figures, or 2 possession game rather. As Maleo chases down the long pass. Martins could not keep her luck going, misses that 3. Has 4 in the ball game. As Maleo makes the nice steal. Cavalcanti. Down to Ubaka, who can't handle the pass. Will stay with Brazil. Zach Young saying, cool, I'm from the other side of the country in Nova Scotia. Good conversation going on in the chat. You want to head there with 3.5 to play. 4-point ball game. Cavalcanti steps into and misses the 3. Has not had much luck in this one so far. As Tony says, struggled to buy a basket for both teams. It has been a low-scoring affair. Zach Young says Colombia has completely flipped this game around. Couldn't agree more as Mastarella on the inside. They are suddenly having much better luck around the basket. Liliana says Vamos Colombia as Cavalcanti again inside. Finishing for 2. Back to a 4-point game as Colombia really has flipped this game on its head. Doing a much better job attacking the basket. Consistently trying to drive. Like that, a floater on the way, up and in. Beautiful shot from Maria Acosta. 2.5 to play, Brazil running. And poked out of bounds, it stays with Brazil. As Mastarella helps up Maleo. Good act of sportsmanship there after the ball was poked away. Coach Start says, wow, they are having their way. Tedwin pointing out Ubaka's energy and passion. It has been there all tournament long. But saying that her counterfoil is Mastarella for Colombia. They both have great basketball IQ as Cavalcanti again off on a 3. And out of bounds. And Coach Stark pointing out that floater was beautiful from Acosta. And Tebwin saying Colombia will win this game, but it will be very close. 6-point ball game, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Acosta turns down the double screen. Gets it back to Tatton. One step through. The little bump in contact from Maleo, and the foul is called. A chance to take an even greater lead. Yeah, let me know what you think of the comments. And chime in here as I will interact with you in the chat. Hop over to YouTube, search FIBA U16 Americas, or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023. You can make sure to like and subscribe, share with your friends, and interact with us. Comment in the chat, or interact on social media. On Facebook and Instagram, follow us at NextGenHoops, and use the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. As we come down to the last 2 minutes of the third, a 7-point ball game, largest lead of the night for Colombia, as they have dominated this third quarter by a score of 20-7. The offense so much better for Colombia attacking. Brazil can't finish inside. The follow, no. And it will stay with Brazil. They've gotten a lot of second chances out there. As Juan says, let's go Colombia. Vamos Colombia. Question, if Mexico is the host. Yes, it is. This is in Merida, Mexico, Yucatan. From the Proliferum Zamna, this whole tournament. As a held ball and a foul, as Borges tried to go inside. Much better job from Colombia controlling the paint. As coach starts, saying that tries to get his boys to box out like that. Jeffrey says, shout out from the Philippines. Aguilar family. Gotta love it. Coach Stark mentioning the box out, says, boxed out so well, and just let the ball go out of bounds before taking it in. As a box out deluxe, says Coach Stark. Appreciate you chiming in. Carlos says, yes, Colombia. That's the game you need to play. Sergio says, vamos, Colombia. Sofia, arriba, Colombia. Cheering for Isabella Rincon. Jose says Brazil will win the game in all caps as we get down to under a minute. Shot on the way. No, from Brazil. They are struggling on offense. Second chance, again off the mark from Borges. Now 45 seconds. A chance to get the largest lead of the night for Colombia. Brazil has had 14 offensive rebounds, but Colombia has had a dozen of their own as they nail another triple. What a start, and holy cow, the three-point shooting had to find its level for Colombia. They knocked down a third three of this quarter, as they have now hit 3 of their last 5 triples. Unreal efficiency after starting 0 for 12. Borges with the response inside, and through 3 quarters, as no shot gets off, Colombia holding the 39-32 lead over Brazil, completely turning the game on its head as they win the third quarter 23-10. Will Brazil be able to come back in the fourth quarter, or will Colombia capture that 5th place here in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship?
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
start of the fourth quarter here from Yucatan, Mexico. The 5th place game for the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. As Cavalcanti again off the mark on a 3. Brazil and Colombia going back and forth. As Colombia found themselves trailing early by 10 after the first quarter. 6-point game at halftime. Colombia completely flips that. Takes a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter. And now a chance to raise that even higher as they reach their largest lead of the night. 41-32, a 9-point advantage. Holy cow. For Colombia. Mascareña has been a big part of this turnaround. 23-10 advantage in the second quarter. And now 3-0 to start the fourth. As Mascareña up to 17 points. 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 1 for 2 from 3, and 7 for 14 from the field. A really efficient game at the U16 level to go with 12 boards, a double-double. And Brazil can't respond inside. Mascareña doing a good job on both ends around the basket. I'm Andrew Willett on the call. You can find me on social media at VACWillett22. Willett spelled W-I-L-L-E-T-T, or at APB Show. I appreciate you so much for tuning in here on YouTube and getting involved in the chat as another basket scored at the rim for Mascareña. And Colombia has completely turned this game around, leading 44-32, and an early timeout from Brazil here in this fourth quarter. We'll jump over to the chat. As we appreciate you so much for tuning in. Wherever you are tuning in, thank you. But try and hop over to YouTube, get involved in the chat. You can find it by searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023. Make sure to check out all the information there, but also the link for this game where you can hop in, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and comment in the chat. Interact with us. I'll be sure to shout you out on the broadcast as well as interact throughout the game. Also interact with us on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, by following us at NextGenHoops and using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. In the chat, we've got Tony saying Brazil, making me lose hope. Tony, you've been all over the place. I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding. I really appreciate you tuning in and chiming in. As Lida says Mascareña has a double-double already. Pretty incredible job for Mascareña so far. Up to 19 points and 13 rebounds. Dominant performance. As Colombia continues with a stop out of the timeout. Coach starts saying dropping threes like it's raining. Jose says the next game, Puerto Rico will win, predicting the win over Argentina for third place. Coach Stark says, I am entertained. You have to be. This has been quite the turnaround. Davies Wood says, come on, Colombia. Coach Stark says, shared to Facebook. This is really good coverage. Coach, thank you so much. We really appreciate it over here. We're having a great time. As he says he really likes watching basketball this way. Coach Stark, we like having you interact. We enjoy your comments over here on FIBA, the basketball channel. Lawrence says, here we go. Ray, I apologize for the pronunciation. That's on me. As a shot up and no. Let's run through some more of the comments. As Sushi says, Brazil started great, but not so much now. Zach Young says Colombia has Ubata neutralized. Carlos saying every time Colombia makes a 3-point shot, my heart freezes. Jose says Puerto Rico will win the next game again. Coach Stark says he logged in around 10 to 20 and that they got to make those layups. Zach Young saying, wow, Colombia and Mascarella took this game and ran with it. Certainly has been the case right now. 10-point advantage. Coach Stark says, what is the shot making percentage for each team for Colombia? They are shooting just 31% from the field and 15% from 3. But remember, they started 0 for 12 from downtown and they made 3 of their next 5. For Brazil, they are shooting just 25% from the field, 24% from 3. Not doing well. As Jose says, let's go Colombia. Good vibes from Puerto Rico. And Tony says, I lost hope in Brazil. Still could be a comeback. A lot of time left. As Ubata, no good on the mid-range shot. Maleo on the follow is fouled and will head to the free throw line. A chance to make it back to single digits. Coach starts saying that is the difference. Missed opportunities. Richard happy with his Colombia, plus 4.5. Lawrence says, are you the one? Zach Young says, Colombia looked hopeless in the first quarter, but now Brazil struggling to find some offense. Colombia has certainly made quite the comeback. Let's see. KC saying, I thought Brazil was the lion of this game. Jose says Puerto Rico, really confident about them. Tony, having some fun with me in the chat. I appreciate you, Tony, so much. Richard says he got the bet. Colombia plus 4.5 when they were still down. Coach Stark mentioning the SWAT. Edwins says, vamos, Colombia, vamos. Cindy says, quarter 1, Colombia was warming up. So many chats. We appreciate all of you so very much. Sushi, not happy with Brazil's effort at this point as Coach starts saying, wow, Colombia. KC saying Brazil needs some 3-pointers. 4 for 17 at that point. Sophia says, ganar Colombia, Isabella Rincon. Tony says Brazil needs Coach Stark. Fabio says Brazil. Coach Stark says, here comes Brazil. This is the time to start making the push. Now down to an 8-point game, 5.5 left. Lawrence says, trying to add me on social media. Lawrence, I appreciate the kind words and the follow. I can be found on social media at VACWillett22. Willett is spelled W-I-L-L-E-T-T. Or at APB Show. Appreciate you so very much for tuning into this broadcast, following along, bidding in the chat, and for following me. I've had a lot of fun with you guys in the chat. Miguel asked if Dr. Thierry still needs an update. As the shot, no. Rebound, Brazil. Good pressure defense from Acosta. Coach Stark says yes. Brazil needs Coach Stark. And saying take it to the hole. Midel says hello, everyone. And we're caught up on some chats. Thank you all of you for tuning in right now. Having a lot of fun in the chat as we're at the halfway mark. Brazil going to need some baskets and some defense down the stretch. As Borges inside. Can't get it to go. Maleo blocked on the follow. KC says Brazil, dance. Jermaine Willett saying a pro basketball show is a must-see. Appreciate it. That is my podcast, a pro basketball show at APB Show on social media. Tune in for some women's basketball coverage right now. As Samuel says sorry. Coach Start saying get them lights up to 200. Yes. For all of you tuning in, we're at 174 lights. About 1,700 watching. Be sure to get in there and give us a thumbs up. Already up to 175. Appreciate the love. Noel says, Go Colombia, go. Lawrence Hufford says, is that on IG? Yes, I am on Instagram. APB Show, as well as the AC Willett 22. Willett, W-I-L-L-E-T-T. Pedron says, good morning, world. Depends on where you are, I'm sure. Coach Stark wishing they would have finished on those last couple of opportunities. Jumper gives a shout out to Richard Gonzalez. Watching every single game from Puerto Rico. Shout out. Appreciate you tuning in. Had a lot of fun with this U16 tournament as Colombia on a little bit of a drought. And a foul called on the rebound. Foul on Brazil. Sushi says Brazil's coach will make her team run a lot after this game. Dr. Thierry says Bora Brazil. A lot of thumbs up, Carlos. Appreciate it. Zach Young says Brazil needs to take advantage of every possession. They will have to down the stretch. 3-possession game. It becomes a 4-possession game as Colombia now with a 10-point advantage under 4 minutes. They are going to need some offense and fast here in this 5th place game. As Cavalcanti struggles from 3 to continue. 0 for 9 from downtown. And make that 20% from 3. Cavalcanti not had the best game after having a fantastic tournament the rest of the time. 10.6 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. Very well balanced while scoring very well. Just has not gotten the 3 to fall at all. As the team 4 for 18 from downtown. Zaki says Colombia is angry. Mario says, I don't know why Colombia. Number 4, Luisa Morantes doesn't go to the rim more. Had some success earlier. Got to the foul line a couple of times. Richard saying to cut some clock. As Matt pointed out, Colombia leading by 10. As they are continuing the pressure defense. Tony Thatch says, yeah, that was a big difference. Not being able to knock down threes for Michaela Cavalcanti. Even with Martins knocking down a few. Could not make up for Cavalcanti. There's a lot of chats coming in now. As Rashad says Brazil just didn't know how to score. Roy tuning in from the Philippines saying hello. Thank you for chiming in. Greetings from the Philippines. Coach Stark saying they just look tired. It's a lot of basketball in 1 week. It's very true. As well as chiming in heads up basketball. Pedron saying don't hate the young girls. They're just under 16. They're playing great basketball for their age group. As Colombia up by 10. Under 2 minutes now. trying to secure the victory for 5th place in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. As Brazil trying to get the basketball back. That's Young pointing out Sarah Martins having a rough second half. Had a great first half though. Has been one of the best players in this game for Brazil. As Colombia scores and a timeout taken. In a 12-point ball game, Mastarella now up to 21 points. A 20-point game for Mastarella to go with 14 rebounds. Incredible job by Marta Mastarella. Roy saying, I hope you visit the Philippines one day. Very beautiful and hospitable people here. Roy, appreciate the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Forecasting when is the next round, and that is Argentina and Puerto Rico for the 3rd place game. That's at 5:30 local time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Followed by Canada and the United States for it all, the final game of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. Rashad pointing out all the turnovers from Brazil. Sushi upset with the defense. Coach Stark mentioning the ball movement on offense and tenacious defense will wear a team out. As Matt says a timeout, Zach Young says GG's Colombia. Matt says what a brain. Samuel begging for Brazil to do something. As we are down to the last minute and 12 seconds. Tedwin saying, I agree, it's a lot of basketball for their age group. And he says a low score or missed shots does not mean lack of skill. I'm right there with you, Tedwin. Coach Stark agrees. Amen, he says. Abel says, game is over. Catalina says, those who are in the Philippines most likely had bets on this game. I am one of those. So we come down to the last minute. Brazil still fighting. But a quality effort from Colombia, especially to close this game out. So many comments. Appreciate to all of you who are tuning in as we get a foul called. We'll run through some more. Tony, 5th place Colombia, 6th place Brazil, 7th Mexico, 8th the Dominican Republic. Sushi says game isn't over. There is a timeout. Tedwin saying I like Mastarella's game. She shows versatility. Go Colombia. Please keep it respectful and kind in the comments. No need for hate. Ray says Brazil has to invest more in high school basketball. Such a big country. Steven says Vamos Colombia. KC calling for the Tracy McGrady play after the timeout with 1 minute and 12 seconds, down by a dozen. I love it. I love it, KC. Referencing Tracy McGrady's 13 points in 33 seconds. There's a reason it's called the Tracy McGrady play. It's only happened the one time. That's the lead up to 14 after 2 more free throws from Mastarella. We get down to 30 seconds. Carlos says, I said it. Colombia had a better defense than Brazil. So many comments, and we just appreciate all of you for tuning in as we get another foul called. Brazil staying after it as they hit another 3-pointer. And more free throws coming. See if we can't get to more comments. Coach Stark says, great game to both teams. I was 100% entertained. Good game from Colombia. Coach Stark, thank you so much for your comments. We appreciate you so much. Zach Young saying these were probably the 2 best defensive teams other than the U.S. and Canada. Knew it would be low scoring. Mario says, watching from Mexico, thank you for tuning in. Norman pointing out excellent defense. Edge says, wow, Michael Jordan. As an and one from Brazil. Sarah Martins up to 16 points. So many comments. Appreciate all of you for watching. Let's see if we can't get this up to 200 likes in the last 30 seconds. We're at 192. Hop in there. Give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate you all so much. Steven saying Colombia, Colombia, Colombia. Lawrence, hey, no worries. My Instagram, I do not have a way to type it in there, but I am VTHEAC Willett, WILLETT 22, and at APB Show. Appreciate you for chiming in with the comments, and appreciate you for following. As in says, good fighting spirit from Colombia. They never gave up, even though they were down after the first quarter. Very true. Craig, thank you for tuning in. Craig will be taking over the call for the next couple of games. Says Colombia sure has been fun to watch. That they have, as they are about to take over the 5th place spot. Craig also saying Marta Mastarella, such a great player. It has been so much fun to watch as we get another foul. As Valentina says, go Isabella Rincon, number 10 for Colombia. Zach Young saying Mascarella will play in Europe or the WNBA someday. Colombia's MVP all day long. Zach, thank you for tuning in. Sophie says, only easy matches win Colombia. Vima says, thanks Colombia. As Martins, no good. Try it in from Ubata, and that does it. That shot won't get off. So at the horn, Colombia wins 52-41 over Brazil and takes 5th place in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. Thank you so much to everybody watching. We got that up to over 200 likes. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for all the comments, as I had a great time with you here in today's game and throughout the tournament. As let's recap this game real fast. Heading into the team comparison from the field, it was Colombia shooting a higher percentage, 29% compared to 25% for Brazil. From three-point range, Brazil shot a higher percentage, 26% compared to 14% for Colombia. From the free throw line, Brazil also shot a higher percentage, 67 compared to 56. Steals, it was Colombia 14-2 with the advantage, same with assists, 11-8, and turnovers. Only 10 turnovers in this one to 23 for Brazil. Blocks pretty even, 5-4, Colombia with the advantage. Points off turnovers, they also had the advantage, 12-0. As fast break points, pretty even as well, 10-7. Second chance points, 9-7. Brazil had the advantage in those two. Points in the paint, Colombia took over 28-20. Very few points from the bench, 7-3. Colombia had that advantage, as they are able to pull out on top in the second half behind a 23-10 third quarter and a 14-9 fourth quarter. After being down by as many as 10, they pull off the victory, a 12-point win over Brazil. Leading scorers in this game for Brazil, they were led by 16 from Sarah Martins. You had 9 from Sofia Borges, 6 from Esther Ubata, 5 from Michaela Cavalcanti, and 2 from Nicolise Sanchez. For Colombia, they were led in scoring by Marta Mastarella, but 1 point from Jaislyn Pineda, 2 apiece from Luna Veda, Lisa Ferrero, Valerine Lopez. You had 5 from Luisa Morantes, 8 from Maria Perez, 10 from Maria Acosta, and then the big 23 points from Marta Mascarella. She shot 9 for 21 from the field, 1 for 3 from downtown, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 5 of those offensive, to go along with 5 steals and 3 blocks. What a performance from Marta Mascareña and Colombia as they pull off the win and capture 5th place. Here in the classification games, Brazil is 6th earlier today. Mexico won and became 7th, and the Dominican Republic fell to 8th. Still a lot of basketball to be played, with Argentina and Puerto Rico up next at 5:30 local time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the U.S. and Canada at 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Craig will be on the call for that one. You saw him in the chat. We appreciate you all so much for tuning in. And a real fast appreciation from me, as it was an honor and a privilege in order to broadcast these games for Spalt and FIBA and cover the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. 2 games left, but I am all done. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. You can follow me. I'm Andrew Willett on Instagram and social media in general at BACWillett, WILLETT22, and at APB Show. As this one comes down to Colombia dominating the second half, winning 53-41 and taking that 5th place finish as we head to the 3rd place in championship games. Thank you so much for watching the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship.